Here with us today to talk about how law enforcement is approaching the rapid increase of heroin in our area is St. Louis Division Drug Enforcement Administration Task Force Officer Juan Wilson. Did I get all that? Did I say all of it right? All right, perfect. So I just want to talk about first, why are we seeing such an increase of heroin in the area?
I think we can take it back to 2008. We started to see a lot of bulk seizures of cocaine. And the cartel, just as any proficient business person, once you lose a product, you have to, put in a new product in line. So heroin was readily available, and so they inserted heroin, and we started to see a large influx into the United States.
Why do you think it's hitting our community in particular so hard?
I think it's because the availability of it. It's very, very cheap now. It's very, very potent. We see a huge correlation and link with pharmaceuticals, with prescription opiates. And so we have a lot of people who are addicted to prescription opiates, and once the high is no longer the same, they have to transition to something else.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your day-to-day. What do your investigations look like through the DEA?
Each one is a little bit different. A lot of times I actually respond to the overdose scene. And it's really about collecting evidence, but then also making sure that the family has resources that they need, because they're left with a lot of questions. They're left with a lot of pain and hurt. So we have to make sure that we take care of the families that are involved too.
Okay. Tell me a little bit, when you finally track these guys down, what kind of punishments are they looking at? Prison sentences, fines? Is there a difference between whether somebody overdosed from their product or not, or do you deal with the difference at all, or do you only deal with overdoses?
There's a wide variety of different punishments that can happen. Right now I've been focusing on federal prosecution, which carries a minimum mandatory sentence of 20 to life. So we're talking about an extensive amount of time in federal prison due to someone distributing heroin to someone and then them dying.
What else is the DEA doing specifically about heroin to just crack down and really focus on this problem?
So DEA, they've enforced the DEA 360 strategy. What it is, it's a holistic approach to addressing heroin and prescription misuse. There are 4 pilot cities right now, and St. Louis happened to be one of those pilot cities that they rolled the 360 strategy out. And there's enforcement, police officers and federal agents, and we've been enforcing laws for quite some time. And we came up with the idea of, we're not going to arrest our way or jail our way out of it, but to take it a little bit even further is, law enforcement can't do it alone. So we also need to apply those community resources that are in there. So a part of the 360 strategy, what we're doing is we're doing a lot of prevention education and awareness. So we're going out to the schools and talking to the kids and trying to make sure that people are being put forward to all these resources that we have.
Okay. Explain what prescription drug monitoring, what that program is.
So the prescription drug monitoring program, the program actually, it allows people to talk. It allows the pharmacies to talk to each other. It allows doctors to see if someone is coming to them and getting a prescription, if they've been prescribed another prescription or had it filled somewhere else. So it allows a lot of those medical communities to talk to each other to help prevent doctor shopping, to help prevent get early intervention with the doctors, with their patients, and also prevents negative interactions with pharmaceuticals.
Missouri is one of the only states without a prescription drug monitoring program. Why do you think that is, and what do you think it'll take for them to finally put it in place?
It's very difficult because Missouri becomes the kind of the laughing stock of when we talk about what are we doing as far as intervention. Missouri is the only United States territory that doesn't have one. Puerto Rico and Guam actually have a prescription monitoring program, and we don't. It gets passed through the House every year and has been for the past several years. We just have a senator in the Senate that filibusters the prescription monitoring program. So hopefully this time we won't have that happen.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Some good information, and hopefully we can start seeing that program going into place pretty soon. Coming up, I'll tell you the ways that you can join the fight against heroin.